Hello everybody, welcome into another lesson. Today we are going to talk about graphing inequalities on a number line. So, we've all seen number lines before. Let's say this said a equals 4. If it equaled 4, we would just plot a dot on the point where it was 4 on the number line. But this is a is greater than 4. If it is greater than 4, that means it doesn't include 4. It's every number bigger than 4. What you're going to do is you're going to put a parenthesis at the number 4, a nice big parenthesis where it opens up towards every number greater than 4 going to infinity, and then you're going to shade in the line going to the right. You'll shade in the line going to the right and draw a little arrow at the end. That denotes every number greater than 4. So, I do have more. But this lesson's going to lead into solving inequalities, which will be the next lesson. Okay, let's say we have x is greater than 6. So we have x is greater than 6. Well, we'll draw our nice little number line here. I think we'll put 5 in the middle. And we'll do 6, 7, 8, 9. You just want to have sufficient points on your number line where it works for you to be able to plot the point and show the inequality on your number line. But I have 0 through 9 on this line. Well, x is greater than 6, so the answer is it's every number bigger than 6, not including 6. It's just greater than 6. It does not include 6. So once again, you'll put an open parenthesis at the point 6. The open part of the parenthesis will face towards every number that's greater than 6. Then you'll just do a shading. You'll do a nice shading here and draw an arrow at the end of it. And that denotes that it's going from 6 to infinity because x is every number greater than 6. Alright. What's next? Now this is interesting. D is less than or equal to 5. So we got D is less than or equal to. So if you haven't seen the symbols, of course everyone probably knows this is less than. Everybody knows this is greater than. But if you haven't seen these symbols yet, the less than or equal to, or the greater than or equal to symbols, those also come into play in inequalities. Well, the less than or equal to includes the point, and greater than or equal to includes the point, where just less than does not include the point, greater than does not include the point. But D is less than or equal to 5. So let's draw our number line. We'll put 5 over here, 4 over here. We'll do 3, 2, 1, 0. We'll do 6, 7, and 8. Okay. So I got myself a nice number line here. The value of D is less than or equal to 5. So if it has the or equal to part, instead of using a parenthesis, you'll use a bracket. You use a nice bracket for it if it includes the point. In this case, it does include 5. It's equal to 5, but it's also less than 5. So you would use a bracket, and then you would shade every point going down, draw a nice arrow at the end. That denotes that the value of D is less than or equal to 5, and it goes all the way to negative infinity. It's every value less than or equal to 5. Alright, another one. W is less than or equal to 8. So we got W is less than or equal to 8. Well, let's start here. Let's see. We'll do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we'll do 12. Alright, so the value of W is less than or equal to 8. Since it has the or equal to, we're going to draw a bracket. And since it's got the less than component, you're going to draw a big open bracket facing all values less than 8. You're going to shade the line here, and you're going to draw a nice arrow at the end. This will denote that the interval that you're seeking is all values less than or equal to 8. That bracket is for equal to 8. Had it just been less than 8, you would have put a parenthesis instead of a bracket. What's next? Alright. We have n is less than 11. So we have just less than this time. Alright, so n is less than 11. So let's see. I'll do 11 right here, which means we'll have 10, 9, 8. Plot some sufficient points here to make this number line work. Alright, so this time we have just n being less than 11. It does not include 11. It's not equal to 11. It's just simply less than 11. Since it's just less than 11, you'll put a parenthesis. You'll make the open part of the parenthesis facing towards every number that's less than 11. Then you'll do a nice shading here and draw a nice arrow at the end to show that n is every number less than 11. So since it doesn't include 11, you'll just have a parenthesis there, an open parenthesis facing every number less than 11. Alright, we got x is less than 5. So once again, we have another one where it's just simply less than. Draw our nice number line. Just drawing some values to make this number line look complete. Just so it can show the whole scale of the thing and on the number line. Okay. So this case, x is less than 5. It's not equal to 5. It's not less than or equal to. It's just less than. Since it's just less than, you're going to put an open parenthesis with the open part of the parenthesis facing every number that's less than 5 going to the left. Then you'll do some nice shading here. You'll draw an arrow at the end to denote that x is less than 5. That x is every number less than 5, not equaling 5, but less than. Because again, a parenthesis at that point of 5 means it's not equal to it. Had this been less than or equal to 5, we would have put a bracket instead. Alright. We got t is greater than or equal to 9. So t is greater than or equal to 9. Let's see, let's do 9 here. Let's do 10 here. 11, 12. That means 8 has to go here, 7 here, 6 here, 5 here, and 4 here. Okay. So t is greater than or equal to 9. Well, it has the equal to part. Since it contains the equal to part, you'll put a bracket on 9. Not a parenthesis, but a bracket. And since it's greater than or equal to, you're going to make the bracket open up towards every number that's bigger than 9. So this bracket will open up towards every number that's bigger than 9. You'll just do a nice shading here to indicate that it's going all the way to infinity. Draw an arrow. Your interval is 9 included all the way to infinity, because t is every number greater than or equal to 9. So that's why we have the bracket there. Alright, I got 5 more. So we got b is greater than or equal to 8. We got b is greater than or equal to 8. So once again, we'll draw a nice number line. Alright, let's do 8 right about here. Do 9, 10, 11. Just draw other numbers to the left of 8 for some good measure here. Alright, I think we got enough numbers now on the number line. So b is greater than or equal to 8. So since it has the or equal part, it's going to be a bracket instead of a parenthesis. And since it's greater, you're going to face the bracket at 8, pointing on the open end of the bracket. You're going to point that towards every number greater than 8. Then you'll do a nice shading here and then draw an arrow, because that denotes that b is every number greater than or equal to 8. It goes all the way from 8 included all the way to infinity. That's what you would draw on a number line. Alright, I got 4 more. We have x is greater than negative 4. Alright, so we got x is greater than negative 4. Let's put negative 4 right here, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1. Alright, so let's go to the left. Alright, so we got some sufficient points for a number line. So x is just greater than negative 4. It's not greater than or equal to negative 4. It's just greater than negative 4. So the value of x will not include negative 4. It'll just be every number bigger than negative 4. Well, since it's just greater than, you'll put a parenthesis. You'll make it an open parenthesis. Since it's greater than, it'll be facing every number greater than negative 4, and then you'll just draw a nice shaded line on the line graph, and then draw an arrow at the end. This signifies that x is every number greater than negative 4, not including negative 4. So that's why we have a parenthesis, because it's not equal to negative 4. Alright, 3 more. This time we got n is greater than or equal to negative 3. So n is greater than or equal to negative 3. Let me just make sure I draw sufficient points to make this a good number line here. Alright, so we have n greater than or equal to negative 3. Since we have the or equal to part, it's going to be a bracket. And since it's got the greater than negative 3 part, we're going to make the open part of the bracket face towards every number that's greater than negative 3. And we're going to draw a line going all the way down and draw an arrow at the end to signify that it goes all the way to infinity, because n is every number greater than or equal to negative 3. And that's why we have a bracket, because this time it does include negative 3. Alright, should be two more. X is less than or equal to negative 5. So we got x is less than or equal to negative 5. Put negative 5 right there. Negative 6. Negative 7. Alright, so x is less than or equal to negative 5. So it doesn't, the value of x does include negative 5 since it's equal to, it's less than or equal to. So you'll put a bracket on it instead of a parenthesis. But we have the less than part, so the bracket's going to face every number. The open part of the bracket's going to face every number that is less than negative 5. Then you'll just do your shading on the line and draw an arrow at the end, because you want to indicate that x is less than or equal to negative 5. It's every point that less than negative 5, including negative 5. That's why we have the bracket. Okay, one more. Alright. X is less than negative 2. So we got x being less than negative 2. Alright, let's do that. Okay, we got some good points graphed there. So x is just less than negative 2. It is not less than or equal to negative 2. It's just simply less than negative 2. Since it's just less than, you're going to put a parenthesis at negative 2 since it does not include negative 2. And you're going to open the parenthesis up towards every number that's less than negative 2. So parenthesis is going to go there. And then you're going to shade a nice line on the number line and draw an arrow to denote that that x is less than negative 2, not including negative 2. So graphing inequalities is relatively simple. If it's just simply less than or greater than a number, you put a parenthesis at that number, and if it's greater than that number, you open the open side of the parenthesis towards every number that's bigger than that number. If it's less than that number, you put the open side of the parenthesis towards every number that's less than that number. If it's greater than or equal to that number, you put a bracket at that number, and you open the open part of the bracket towards every number that is greater than that number, and a bracket means it includes that number. If it's less than or equal to, then the bracket's simply going to be on that number, but it's going to go the other way. It's going to go towards every number that's less than that number. So that's really it for graphing inequalities. The next lesson, we're going to solve inequalities. There'll be variable problems with inequalities. And it works almost the same way as equations, but there are some differences. But I will see you all next lesson. I hope you have a good night. Take care.